We'll get started.
Okay.
Well, welcome to the Indiana Farmers Market Community of Practice webinar, Catching Up with Indiana Grown. I am Christina Ferroli, the Grants Program Coordinator for the Indiana Cooperative Development Center. Today we have with us Brandon Caldwell, who's the Marketing and Communications Manager for Indiana Grown. Brandon graduated from the University of Indianapolis in 2022 with a public relations concentration. He also finished his 6-year Marine Corps contract in 2022. That's quite impressive. And Brandon has been with Indiana Grown for a little over 4 months now.
Yes.
So he's brand new, and I know he's been active and involved with all the projects that have been going on, and I'm really glad to welcome him. And just a quick reminder, just please remain muted, and if you want to drop a question into the chat, that's fine. That would work, or raise your hand or even unmute. That would be perfectly appropriate for today. So welcome, Brandon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brandon Caldwell, Marketing and Communications Manager for Indiana Grown. Thank you, Christina, for having me. And let's jump into the program. So a little bit about Indiana Grown. We are housed within the ISDA. Basically, we are the marketing arm of the ISDA. So any business that wants to be promoted, wants to get help with their social media or anything, we can help with that. We try to do destinations and spotlights where we go to farms, we go to operations, and that way we're more in touch with the community. We can hear pros, cons, comments about anything going on. And it's a really good way to get us like a full understanding about how everything works together, all the way from suppliers to a farm to a storefront. We're in every single county. We're around 2,000 members. If you grow, raise, produce, process, or anything like that, you can apply to be an Indiana Grown member, and it is completely free. So if you're not, feel free to apply. And it's not a hard process. You just apply to a website link, and basically with that, the team will meet, we'll go through your stuff, and then you're accepted or declined. So right here is just in a range of different members. We have everything from hogs to goats, lambs. We got alpacas, bees, turkeys. That's a CSA picture in the corner. Last week was National CSA Week. We posted it. Members every single day. Anyone that filled out the sheet that we sent out, we basically posted. So a lot of times we get emailed about different farmers markets or different opportunities coming up, different festivals, anything like that. We will post in the Facebook group, but if we are told about it ahead of time, maybe like a month away or so, we can actually plan a day to post that on all our socials and coordinate better, make sure we're getting the owner story in, we're getting great graphics, stuff like that. But yeah, Indiana's not just limited to corn, wheat, as everyone here knows. So these are pictures I like to share a lot. Basically, this is the website link, indianagrown.org/register, or if you go to indianagrown.org, it's going to be that orange button in the top right of your screen. And that's all the information right there. Some people have had problems filling this out where like the website doesn't let you do so, or there's like an error somewhere. All you have to do is put as much information as you can, and then contact us at the general email on our website, my email, anyone on the Indiana Grown team, and behind the scenes, we can actually go into the website and kind of bypass if there's an issue or anything like that, or just fill it out ourselves. So some members, we have Amish members that don't use computers or anything, but they want to be part, and a member will just bring us a piece of paper with their information on it. We'll just fill this out, and they're on the website. So it's that easy. Current initiatives, we have the Indianapolis Airport Store. We have a member symposium coming up in a few weeks. If you're not on the Facebook member-only group, please join and sign up. Christina will be there. And we have Purdue is going to be there. We're going to have produce safety. There's going to be a couple of other organizations that we're going to post about right after this. I'm going to post it. So look out for that. The June marketplace, that is usually our monumental marketplace downtown, but we are moving it to the Indiana State Fairgrounds. So this will allow more vendors. It will allow us to be indoors, and it will allow us to hopefully mitigate like downtown traffic or anything like that. So hopefully more people can come. And we have the yearly Indiana State Fair store that's different than the June Marketplace one. This is the yearly one. And then we are going to be launching a holiday box where we're going to have about 6 to 10 members products in a box that you can buy for your friends, anything like that, come November time. And then every Saturday we have the Wish TV morning segments. So members get on there and basically just talk about their business, and Wish TV shares it, we share it. And it's really great for them. A lot of people report that they get a lot of purchases afterwards. If there's any questions specifically about the airport, as that is usually a big one, you have to use Piazza. That is a big thing. SSP runs the airport store. So that's one group. You got the airport, Indiana Ground, and you got SSP, or Piazza, my bad. So basically, you can reach us saying that you want to be in the airport, and we can give your contact to SSP, and then SSP will then contact you or the Piazza rep to see if you are part of their list, and then they will work out. It is a seasonal menu that they offer. So maybe you have something like strawberries that's not in season right now, but it will be in a couple of months. Then in a couple of months, maybe the airport or SSP will decide to bring you into the restaurant. We don't really have any control on that, but that is a 10-year agreement. So we hope to get more and more, together with SSP. SSP is doing a great job at highlighting members on those little screens. You can't really see it in this picture, but it's like a destination thing. It has a thing about the farm, some of the pictures of the family and everything. So it's really cool that SSP is doing that. They don't have to, but it seems like they're trying their best. So and that's my contact. So kept it very short. If there's any questions, feel free to ask, but can email me about anything you have, or if you have any events coming up. If there's anything cool you want to know about or you think should be highlighted, feel free always to reach out to me. We post almost every single day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. We post daily in the member Facebook group only, thing like that. We have a newsletter that's monthly. We might be getting a seasonal local guide or something like that. So there are plenty of opportunities. If you want to be highlighted or have anything cool going on, please let me know. So if there's any questions.
Yeah, I have a question about the airport. So if you had, like you mentioned, strawberries, so yes. Would they contact you, Brandon, or would a vendor or a farmer contact Piazza Produce and get on board with Piazza, or how's that process work?
Yeah, so a farmer could reach out directly to their Piazza rep if they have one, and then that rep could reach out to SSP, or they could reach out to us, and then we can tell SSP. We kind of tend to do more where we're like, hey, this is their farm. Here's some extra stuff about them that might be important. They don't only do strawberries, they may do this, that, and that. And then that might help SSP choose. But another thing is too, is if SSP agrees with the farmer, it's not really instant. We've had members that have SSP has chosen and they're like, hey, it's been 3 weeks. They've not come by and picked up product or something. And then randomly one day they show up and they're like, all right, we're ready to take it all. So it's kind of weird, but I think that's just because SSP has never done something like this where there's a lot of local products, a lot of moving products, and the fact that they are accepting new people is shocking, because we thought it would be like, hey, we want 10 members. That's what we're keeping it at. But I mean, some days they have 20 people in the store, 14, 30. It really depends what SSP is feeling. So.
Oh, that's cool. So what role does Piazza have? Are they delivering? Do they act as a wholesaler or distributor?
Yes, they are the distributor for all of SSP's stores in Indiana. So in the airport, if you see Sun King Brewery, Champs, Harry and Izzy's, I don't know if they're still there, but I know they were there. And now the farmers market featuring Indiana Grown, they use Piazza for all of that. So
Okay. So basically, okay. Or is it, so does the farmer have to contact Piazza, or they have to be screened by SSP first, right? They have to be,
Mhm. And now
okay,
you could reach out to Piazza and Piazza can reach out to SSP. But ultimately, at the end of the day, SSP has 100% control of what they want in the store
okay,
for their menu or just products in general. So
okay. So there's a direct link. And is there like a email? How do they get in touch with SSP?
that would probably be best to email us and then we can give that email.
Okay,
Or if you reach out to your Piazza, because depending on SSP runs almost all the airports, like Midwest to East restaurants, and that contact can change very quick. So someone
okay,
might be in town for a month and then they leave. A head chef could be here and she's choosing the menu, and then they're opening a new one in Minneapolis, so she goes. So now there's a new head chef here. So that contact, yeah.
changes.
So it's
Okay.
always changing. Yeah.
So there's a question, and I can't remember if you addressed it or not, but once a farm has received approval on their Indiana Grown application, how can they get more information to be featured on your social media? I don't remember what you said. So I'll let you
Oh
answer
no,
that.
you're totally fine. If you want to be featured on social media, we're trying in the newsletter and the member group to make it more easy. Basically, reach out to me and you send me whatever. I mean, anything about if you have a farmer's market, if you have like wine in an igloo where you can have a meal or something, anything and everything, just send to me. And we will figure out if it could go in the newsletter as a cool spotlight, or maybe there's something there, but the store is not fully fleshed out. So maybe Caroline, the director, could come visit in a month. And then after she goes through and sees it all, now we have a whole story. And that's basically everyone we visit is a guaranteed post. It's just when, because some months we meet 20 people, some months we meet 40. And it's kind of hard if we meet 5 wineries back to back to back.
Yeah,
We don't want to post them all back to back to back to back because they compete with each other for likes and shares. And we don't want to do that to our members. So we kind of just fit them where we can post. So basically reach out to me. Yeah.
you just answered the second part of the question. There was another question. Do you rotate your members in order? Or you just shared that depends on how you receive them. And then if you get too many in one category, you rotate them out. Yeah, I just saw you had posted some really cute farmer family posts on your Facebook posts, and those were nice.
Yeah. And that's a great example of members who went above and beyond, where they have a Google Drive ready or they have photos ready. And basically they filled out the form. Some people put 2 pictures, but some put like 13, and they're high def, great quality with their families and stuff like that. And those ones, I mean, when you share your story, because that's what people ultimately at the end of the day want to see, you share your story and a picture that can go with it. It makes our lives so much easier. And those are the posts that really resonate and get tons of shares. So
yeah, that's very cool. Okay. Anybody else have any questions for Brandon? You'd like to know more? Do you have anything you can share about the symposium that's coming up in April? I know we're about 8 weeks out, 6 weeks out.
yeah, I definitely can share more about this slide. Let me move over the Zoom pictures. So basically with our current initiatives, like the member symposium, this is going to be a member networking centered
Event.
conference. Yeah, thank you. Basically, so we're going to have a trade show where there's going to be booths that you can walk around, you can ask questions. So we're going to have the policy team here. We're going to have international trade here because we have members that are doing stuff overseas and want to bring Indiana to there. And unfortunately, the head director of that, Drew, will be in India during that time. So he won't be here, but he's advocating Indiana products overseas in places like India, Spain, and whatnot. Maya Sari is on the commission. She is bringing Indiana products, her products, to Indonesia. So we're out of nowhere somehow. It seems like going global, which is great.
Yeah.
Like the airport store helps with that and everything, but the member symposium, we're also going to have breakout rooms. So the ISDA communications team, including me, we're going to have like a social media thing. We're going to try to have different store owners have like one pagers and what really helps them choose what products get into their stores. We're going to have like a co-packer there. Basically anything and everything is what we're trying to do. So Mike Hoopengardner's got some slides that we're trying to get where you go from a small operation to a medium to maybe, going over state lines, just helping with sizing and stuff like that. And Chef Bricker will be there. He sells a lot on Amazon. So he's got tons of tips. So we're trying to, and anything that doesn't make the symposium, we're trying to make sure we get all those references and slides, and we're going to add them to the website. So the website has way more information and references. So, and then, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. And with the June marketplace, basically what that's going to be is like the monumental marketplace downtown, only it's going to be inside the Ag Court building at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. So we don't have to worry about rain. There's going to be guaranteed parking. It's a nice facility. And we're trying to do this as a test. The ideal would be every year the June marketplace moves. So if someone is not centered in downtown Indy, which we hear, trust me. And another thing is, if you feel like downtown Indy or somewhere in Indiana is highlighted too much and you're not, reach out to us and we will show up. I mean, that's just the thing. We can't post about counties where we don't know what's going on, because there's 3 of us and 2,000 members. We go through every Facebook page and we're just scrolling, hoping to find stuff to post. So, but ideally the June marketplace would be traveling to Southwest Indiana, Northeast Indiana every year. And then we're going to have applications for that soon. But right now we're really focused on the member symposium, making sure we're getting people signed up and then make sure we have food for them and everything like that. The Indiana State Fair, same as every year. After the June marketplace, we'll have that. If you want your products in the store, you're going to fill out the form, and then there will be additional info about that. And then the holiday box, this one is like the most loose one because it's so far in the future. But basically with that, we're going to choose 6 to 10 different products, and then we are going to buy them. So there's no more. In the past, I think people donated to the Indiana Grown program. We're not doing that anymore. We will buy products. So we are going to buy the products from you, and then we're going to curate them into this holiday box. You can buy it for you and your friends, family members, whoever. And hopefully we're going to include like a little thing saying where it came from and all that. So hopefully we can get products from around the state.
Yeah.
And if that's a success, we can do different boxes in the future. I know that's a question. What about a wine box? What about a curated meats box or something like that? We're just trying to make sure that the first one goes well, and whatever comments we get back, then we can continue into another avenue. So yeah.
That's very exciting. That is such a great idea.
Thank you.
The box, yeah, I mean, people always, I struggle for Christmas gifts, so that'll be just a really, really nice way to highlight, some of the great vendors and producers and products that Indiana has. There was a question, what are the benefits to being a member of Indiana Grown?
Yeah, that's a great question. Our commissioners, that is something they bring up a lot. How can we improve the program, or how can we make sure that people are getting benefits back? In the past, Indiana Grown was pretty much hey, we could get you into Kroger or something like that. And that's kind of where it stopped. So we are trying to make sure that now if you join the program, you will have social media. It could be in the newsletter, Looking Local Guide, unofficial, but you could get into the airport store marketplace. We are trying to make sure stuff is reoccurring and more than just one day. It doesn't help anyone if you can set up your shop outside of Purdue for one day if Purdue students don't go there and buy, or no one remembers the store after that. So with the Wish TV Saturday mornings, again, that's downtown Indy. And if you think of it like a spider web, that's downtown Indy. And then as the web goes out and out, it's looser and looser. So another thing we're trying to do is we're reaching out to WYFY. We're reaching out to ABC, all these other places that might be in Northwest Indiana, Southwest Indiana, and trying to start new spider webs there. So members don't have to travel. And maybe, there's local journalists that are like, we would love to. We had one reach out for Johnson County, which is close to Indianapolis, but they're like, we would love to report. We just don't know who's a member. And we were like, oh, you can go to the website. And they're like, what website? So traditionally in the past, that's how it's been is, oh, you can go here and there's more info. Well, now we're really focusing on cutting out the middleman. And it's just, here's everyone, contact them, or we can get you in touch with them. And that seems to be working a lot more. So we're trying to do more and more media, more and more. Every initiative you see here is kind of like a test. If these tests go well, we have, can't really see the whiteboard, but these are all our initiatives, right? So what you see on the screen is the test. Everything back here is our ideas, but all these can only happen if these go well. So
very exciting.
yeah, I know.
That's a lot. Anybody else have any questions for Brandon? Please unmute or drop them in the chat. Yeah, the June marketplace sounds really great. And the state fair is always a really good venue because parking is right there. But the concept of moving it around the state is really nice too. Because we have so many amazing areas in Indiana that are doing just some phenomenal work. And taking them to those areas and bringing everyone together will be so cool. So
exactly. And I mean, unless someone reaches out, we really, in Ohio County, for instance, I think we have 1 or 2 members. So unless that 1 or 2 members is posting every farmer's market, every festival that's there, we can't really find out. So yeah, we're trying. A big thing of mine with the June marketplace, a big focus of ours was it moving every year. A big focus of mine too is eventually, possibly as early as next year, that we actually do like little recruitment centers where we can, maybe spend a week for the Shipshewana flea market where you have over 10,000 people, but that's all northern Indiana, where we can set up a booth and every single day just be there signing people up with a computer, with pen and paper right then and there. And that way helps facilitate the growth.
So there is a question in the chat. Can farmers markets apply to be Indiana grown members?
Yes. And we have Madison Farmers Market is a commission member. And so you can feel free to apply as a member. And then if you have anyone in your farmers market, they can also apply to be a member. And it helps out a lot because we might post a farm that we had no idea that this farmer's market that's also a member, that farm supplies to there. So they share it. And then maybe someone that buys from there shares it. And then a store's like, oh, that farm also gives us stuff too. And it helps so much. You look at some place like Howie Farms, where Howie Farms had more social media generation than the airport store. And you gotta think that's the Indianapolis airport.
Farm. Yeah.
Yeah. The Indianapolis airport, Lieutenant Governor, Indiana Grown, ISDA, and like 50 other people shared it. But Howie Farms had over 1,000, 2,000 more interactions just based off other people sharing it, liking it, commenting. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was wonderful.
I just met one of your Indiana grown vendors at a farmer's market over the weekend, and it was so much fun. And I know Caroline shared with me that there were, like at the beginning of the year, about 160 farmers markets which participated in Indiana grown. So yeah, kudos, and it's great to see that farmers markets are participating and lots of great things possible. How many farmers do you have that are members? Do you know?
We are currently in the process of auditing and going through. I know we're around 1,800 members, but every month we get about 20 to 30 new people joining. I've started reaching out personally. Basically just like what I said with Howie Farms, I go on Facebook and someplace like Fisher's Farm shares somewhere, or some restaurant. I click that, which leads me to another page, and there's this farm out in somewhere in Indiana that's got 2,000 followers and seems to be doing a real good job. And I'm just like, hey, I don't know if you've ever heard of Indiana Grown. Feel free to sign up. Here's the link and everything. And then, we had one person literally sign up. The director came out next week, and they were on a Wish 2 weeks later. Like, and that's just them asking questions about like, oh, I never heard of this, but how do I do this? How do and they got all that instantly. And it was so cool to see someone get all the resources instantly.
And I think I found a connection with a group through Indiana Grown. I saw them on Wish TV the Saturday morning, and I'm like, oh, I want to connect with them. And Caroline helped me connect with them. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. It's a great way for, just to get exposure, to raise awareness of what you're doing, for your markets, your programs, your products.
Yeah.
So, do you have more vendors as members or more farmer producers? Do you have any idea?
Now, I am strictly social media marketing. I
Okay.
would think farmers and producers because that's what I share.
Okay.
And the people I've talked to / visited have mainly been farmers and producers. So that's what I would lean toward. And I know when we sign up about 20 members every month, I would say probably 14 to 15 are actual homesteads, farms, orchards. So
That's good.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
really exciting.
Yeah, that's
It's a
all I
great
know.
way. It's a great way for them to get exposure, like you said, and marketing, because we have no other channel or venue in Indiana. So yeah, thank you, Brandon. Anybody else want to ask? Oh, what types of products would not qualify for Indiana Grown? Thank you.
That's a great question. Right now, there is a lot that does qualify. I would say the only things that we've kind of put a stop to based on our commission meetings and stuff is artisans. If it's you don't use Indiana products, because there are artisans that might, they get the silver from China, they get the beads from Europe or something like that, and they just put it together. That doesn't really count. Now, we do have artisans in the group that like their wood comes from Indiana. They use hardwood from Indiana. They use feathers from chickens or geese, whatever, in Indiana. So that one's a little bit more murky, but as long as you grow, produce, raise, process, like coffee people, they process here. You can be a member. It's pretty wide open and accepting. So
Very cool. Are home-based vendors allowed to be part of Indiana Grown? Are you familiar with home-based vendors and farmers markets?
Yes. So you can be a member. I would say if you are a home-based vendor, though, for some stuff like the state fair, like the Indiana State Fair, they do not allow home-based vendors.
Okay.
So you can be a member. We can still visit you. You can still sell the farmers markets. We can still promote you and stuff like that. It's just some of our opportunities, because of the health department and stuff like that, they're going to require a lot more.
Right. Yeah. There's some more qualifications for that. That's part of the home-based vendor law. But that's really good to know, because that is really great way to also be able to market, a home-based vendor, which is just a smaller business, and allow them to get more exposure. So that's really cool. Anybody else have any questions? So if you become a member, do you have like a membership kit that you send them? I was trying to remember if I saw something about that somewhere.
Well, funny said.
Help me. help me on that one.
You get this cool bag. Ooh, how fancy.
It's a great kit. Kudos.
It is. Yep. And we'll have stickers and stuff. You get this point of sale sign. And then you can order stickers, banners. We got like these. This is for Indiana Grown for schools, but we got like wind sails. It's all, you just request it and we send it for free. There's no charge.
Very cool. Speaking
of that, we did have some commission members and some other members say that this logo, how it's hard to embroider When you order it yourself, if you order pallet loads, it costs more money because of the holes and stuff. So that is something we are actively reviewing. So, but part of the package is you'll get stickers, you get a brochure, you get a point of sale sign, everything completely free. And if you want more, we have 20 homegrown by Heroes banners completely free. So
Very cool.
you
Very
just
cool.
ask for it, you get it.
So those of you who are market managers or vendors, keep that in mind and order your homegrown by Heroes. I know last year we had a marketing campaign for farmers markets through Indiana Grown, and I think that was all the components were shipped out. So are you going to be doing any more targeted type campaigns for members, do you anticipate?
Maybe. It's just, I know a big focus right now that we're doing as Indiana Grown is anywhere we are, making sure it is good and consistent.
Okay.
Again, like saying we can get you into Kroger is cool and all, but if one member makes it out of 2,000, that's not a really good number. So we're trying to make sure it's more balanced, more, if you are told you're going to the June marketplace, you're going there. There's not, oh, well, that happened a month ago and now this distributor has changed their mind, or, oh, the booth space sizing has changed, so you can't, none of that. So we're trying to make sure it is, you get what you're asking for, basically. So.
Okay. So back to the June marketplace, how many vendors are you going to be able to host?
I'm pretty sure we're aiming for like 50 to 100, 120. That all depends on booth size and stuff like that. We're working with them constantly, and we're trying to make sure too that from now on we can record how many people are attending things, like foot traffic and whatnot, just so we have a bunch of initiatives planned, but we need hardcore analytics to do those. So, and same as if, we're funded by the state. So if you want more money from the state or anything, you have to have analytics. So, and as Monument Circle used to be, you're just walking downtown, you could walk up to it. That does not help the vendor. That does not help a potential vendor. That doesn't help someone know if they actually did really good that day or they gave away 20 free things and they're not sure. So we're making sure we can record as much as possible.
Yeah, sounds good. I mean, farmers market have the same issues, Brandon. So you're speaking to the choir here.
Yeah.
So we know that story, right, market manager? So fantastic comment from one of our participants who's from Kentucky, and Kentucky's initiative is called Kentucky Proud.
Yep.
And I do know a little bit about Kentucky Proud. They were actually ahead of us. So Indiana Grown came a little bit after Kentucky Proud. So we're doing well, but yeah. And she's saying the logo was just a plain white logo. So yeah, times change, different specs. You just have to, you also may need a refresh. So it's all good. Anybody else have any questions for Brandon? I think it's very excited. The June marketplace at the state fair is very, very cool. Think about it. You'll be indoors in the air conditioning, easy parking,
electricity.
Electricity, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's super exciting. And the marketplace at the Indiana State Fair is always fun. I always loved going through your Indiana Grown marketplace. Always so many cool products available. So definitely something to keep track of for the upcoming state fair.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions for Brandon? Well, I will then I guess we will end the meeting a little early, and we thank Brandon for joining us and providing this great information. And if you're not a member, just go to the website and fill out a membership form. Yep. And hope to see you at the symposium. Indiana Farmers Market Community of Practice will be there. I just got my confirmation earlier in the week. We will be sharing what farmers markets are up to and what the market managers are doing, and a little bit what Indiana Farmers Market Community Practice will be doing. And it'll be great to network and catch up with everyone. So thank you. And I notice a lot of people are hoping to be there too. So thank you, Brandon, and have a good rest of the week, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.